The win totals are out for all the projected win totals, I might say, are out for all of the NFL teams. And we have some dark horses who we expect to overachieve this season. And I know we've all picked a team that we believe is going to overachieve. And I know, based on what I know about Matt, he's going to trigger me at some point in time in this video. And I am not ready for it right now. My mental state is not ready to be triggered like this, Matt. So go easy on me. I can't handle it. And for that, I'm not going to pick you right now. I want to hear Sammy. Sammy's always got some off the cuff, out in left field, dark horse teams. But if it's the Dolphins, Sammy, I'm muting you out of pure principle. So let's hear it. Who is your dark horse team who you think is going to overachieve in the 2025 NFL season?
One day, guys, one day. Look, this is going to come to a surprise of nobody. I've been singing this team's praises for the entire offseason, and I expect it to reap dividends. I don't know if I'm taking Matt's pick. I don't know, but I might be. I don't know, by the way. I think me, Matt, and Chris are equally annoying. I think Chris is on the lower tier. I think I'm on the highest tier, and Matt's like right here. I think that's where I'm at there. So I don't know. Look, the Patriots made so many great moves this offseason. I thought they made so many great. Why are you annoyed? You're a literal fan. I don't understand this. I'm a Dolphins fan saying this. Okay, be happy. What the heck? What's wrong with you, Joe?
You're a jinx, man.
No, absolutely not, bro. Hold on. Let me go ahead and I'm pissed off. I'm gonna start looking up stats now. That's how pissed off I am. Look, Drake May is the truth. Okay, I've seen enough from Drake May to the point I know it's the truth. But Drake May is not the only reason why. Okay, Mike Vrabel is also the reason why. Mike Vrabel, I kid you not, has maximized every single roster he has ever been a part of. Every single roster. There was a year, and I forget what the year is, I think it's 2021, where his team was so unbelievably banged up, they had no reason winning the division, let alone being a top seed in the AFC, and yet they were. And the only reason they were able to squeak past the Cincinnati Bengals, now I'm thinking about it, it's 2022, the year that I'm thinking of. The only reason they weren't was because Ryan Tannehill sucks, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. He absolutely sucks, all right? Now, he doesn't have a mediocre QB, a mediocre offensive line, some resemblance of a run game, and no wide receivers to work with. No. He has a true QB, Drake May. Not granted, the offensive line isn't exactly head and shoulders, leaps and bounds, better than the Titans, but it's still a lot better than what the Titans had. And then on top of that, they brought in Stephon Diggs, an actual wide receiver that can actually help you, right? And now I know what you're thinking. Stephon Diggs is coming off of injury. He's coming off of I don't care. He been on that boat too. Okay, yeah.
Shit. Oh God, man, that hurts me.
Look. What you guys should be worried about is when he comes down to Miami. That's gonna be an absolute issue. Okay, I know he was already in Buffalo. He's been a part of this division before. He seems like he's on a different timing now. His trip to Miami might be.
That's week 2, by the way.
That's week 2. Oh, my God. Early in the season. Oh, man. Look.
It's going to be hot.
Look, on top of that. Oh, God. Don't say that. Look, I think the Patriots also had a very, very, very good offseason. Stephon Diggs is one guy. Absolutely. But Milton Williams, bringing him in. I know, Milton Williams, he only had one good Super Bowl. Look, bro. Look. I say get as much talent on that defense as you can. He was a very, very bright spot on that on a defense where a lot of people shone a lot. A lot of people shine bright. Milton Williams showed out as well. Okay, they brought in Morgan Moses, an offensive tackle. They brought in Carlton Davis, a corner. Robert Spillane. This team, look, I don't know if the offense is going to be like a super high powered offense. I don't think that's the case, but I do know this. I do think Drake May was already keeping them in games, and they had a bum as a head coach. Let's keep it 100. Gerard Mayo was not a good head coach. Now you got Mike Vrabel, who I know is going to get that defense stepped up already. You have Drake May, who kept you in games for most of the time. You have add one wide receiver amongst the wide receivers you already have, improved your offensive line, improved your defense. Look, I'm going to say it. I think this Patriots team can make the playoffs. I do. I understand. I think they can make – I believe they can make the playoffs. Now, it's going to be difficult. It's an AFC. Look, it's in the AFC. The AFC is not an easy conference by any means necessary. But it's not like we're new to QBs taking a step out of nowhere to all of a sudden going to the playoffs. I mean, C.J. Stroud did it his rookie year. And, I mean, look at how we talk about C.J. Stroud. Now, last year, it was a bit of a rough year for C.J. Stroud. But this year, but this year for Drake May, he has the head coach. I believe he has the right personnel. I think the defense is going to be 10 times better. Look, I don't know if they win the division because they still got to get through Josh Allen. The jury's still out there. I don't think it's crazy to say that the Patriots can be a top 7 seed in the AFC. I don't think that's crazy. Like you mean to tell me there are 7 teams right now stamped that will make it over the Patriots? I don't think so.
Hell yeah, Sammy. Hell
NFL.com has them currently at 8 wins. 8 wins is what they are sitting at right now. That's what you see them going over 8 wins, Sammy. That's what you're saying. You see the Patriots winning more than 8 games.
I think they can win. I think they can win 9 to 10 games, and that's good enough to make the playoffs.
And so I'm going to tell you the teams that they believe are better than the Patriots right now. That is the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, Denver Broncos, Los Angeles Chargers, Cincinnati Bengals, Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins, Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are the teams NFL.com put above the Patriots right now.
I think they clear. I think they're way better than the Steelers.
Yeah. I think the problem is the Steelers are the 9th team on this list, which means they still don't make the playoffs.
Hold on. I think they're better than the Steelers. I also think they're better than the Bengals. I don't care how good Joe Burrow is.
They might be better.
I think they can be better than the Bengals. I think they can be better than the Bengals. And the Dolphins, and then the freaking Dolphins. You think the Dolphins? Look! You're gonna sit here and tell me after what I've seen. Look, my friends are gonna be so mad. For the record, I'm gonna be riding. Let me look at the camera, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a Dolphins fan through and through. I will be rooting for the Dolphins every single week of this year. Okay, and I believe with all my heart that the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. Okay, they are going to win the Super Bowl. That's me as a fan. As an analyst, you mean to tell me after the offseason the Patriots just had that they can't surpass the Dolphins after not making many additions themselves, after the tumultuous offseason involving their star wide receiver? I'm sorry. You mean to tell me I should trust who the Dolphins draft? Respectfully. They're better than the Bengals. They're going to be better than the Steelers, and they are going to be better than the Miami Dolphins.
And
they're going to be better.
By the way, to build on your Patriots point, Sammy, according to Sharp Analysis, the Patriots have the 2nd easiest schedule in the NFL. So again, schedules are based on last year. Joe doesn't like that point, but again, you look down through the schedule. It's not a whole lot of games that you're like, oh shit! Basically, until you get to the last week of the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season. And then there's a lot of really winnable games on that schedule. So even if you don't think the Patriots are the best team in the NFL, I don't think anybody thinks the Patriots are winning the Super Bowl like we talked about on previous episodes. But given the improvements, given the schedule, given that new head coach and Mike Vrabel, who's shown he can do more with less, I think it's a very reasonable opinion to have the Patriots in the playoffs this year. Joe.
It's not crazy at all. Like everybody's looking. Joe, you're looking at me like I just said that Tua Tagovailoa is going to win MVP or something, okay?
Get that on record. I'm making a short out of that. He thinks Tua is going to win MVP. I'm making a short out of that.
You should make a short out of me looking at the camera and saying that the Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl. Connect all that and put it as propaganda. I'll put it as propaganda on my page, okay? I'll pin it.
Sorry for the segue, people, but lead it off with all the things he said good about the Dolphins. Insert the Tua is going to be there, and then just go, as an analyst.
Right. Yeah, I could chop that up to make that into a super hot.
It's going to look so good. I can't wait. But, Matt, I feel like the best thing we can do now that Sammy has got the Patriots homers going, which, to his point, I am a fan. However, I am a pessimistic fan, especially this early in the off season. I don't like to count my chickens before they hatch, as it were. But I'm just going to go to you, Matt, because I thought going to Sammy wouldn't trigger me, and instantaneously, I think he did it out of spite.
I didn't. This is just what I think, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like he has something down where if Joe picks me first, do Patriots. If I go any other time, pick somebody else.
It's not what.
So Matt, I want to hear from you, man. Who is your dark horse to overachieve in the 2025 NFL season?
Well, listen, first of all, you saying you want to hear from me, that might be a first. So I appreciate that. Second of all, I might trigger you again, but in a different way. And like I said, I got two teams I joked about at pre-show, both of them being the Patriots. One of them is actually the exact opposite of the Patriots in that it's one of the Patriots AFC East rivals. And they're sitting at 5.5 for their over-under right now. And to be honest, I think they're going to hit the over, and I think they're going to hit it pretty easily. I think this Jets team is going to be tough to beat this year. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I think the New York Jets are going to have an over. It's not like
motherfucker. Dude, text us in the chat. Listen to this chat. He texts us in our Discord and goes, "Hey, so I have a thought. If we have a hot take, let's say we have a hot take, so we can go first, so we can really get our hot take in there."
You didn't ask.
He doesn't tell us. He doesn't tell us he's picking the fucking Jets.
Well, that's one of the two teams I'm picking. Wait for the second one.
Oh, my God, bro.
The second one's the Saints. No, I'm just kidding. Not the Saints. But listen, okay. The New York Jets, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. They're going to be a tough team to beat. This defense last year, this team has been held back by their offense consistently over the years. It's been held back every single year by their offense. This defense last year was still good. 3rd in total yards, 4th in pass yards, 17th in run defense, so they can obviously get better in that. And they lost DJ Reed, obviously, this offseason, which is tough. But again, I really liked this New York Jets draft. Armand Membu to come in and play right tackle, Joe's boy, Armand Membu. And then you have Olufashano, who's on that left side as well, who's going to play a really good left tackle, who was a top 10 pick as well. And then you look at PFF's grades on their interior offensive line. They got a really, really good interior offensive line. So I think this Jets offensive line could be one of the best offensive line units in the NFL this year. They also grabbed Mason Taylor, the tight end, in the second round. Really like that pick as well. I love Aaron Glenn too. Aaron Glenn coming in, changing that Jets culture is like trying to change like someone who weighs 600 pounds, trying to get him to eat a salad. That's what that's like. But I think he's going to try to change that culture, and I think he's going to do a damn good job of it as well. And I also really like Justin Fields with this roster. I think Justin Fields is going to fit perfectly with what this roster is going to try to do. He's already got the Ohio State chemistry with Garrett Wilson, their number 1 wide receiver. And then, like I just mentioned, the great interior offensive line with the 2 top 10 pick tackles in Fashanu and with Armand Membu as well, combined with Breece Hall and Braylon Allen in that backfield. This could be a top 5 rushing offense in the NFL. A great offensive line with Justin Fields, with 2 really good running backs in the backfield. They're going to control the clock. And you know what this Jets defense has never had since they've had this young core of this defense with Quinnen Williams, with Sauce Gardner, guys like that? An offense that can just be average, that can just run the ball well, control the clock so they don't have to be exhausted on the football field 24/7. That's what they're going to have this year. They're going to play a way better complementary game in New York this year, and I think it's going to be dangerous. So, again, like I said, the offense has held them back. I don't think it's going to be a great offense this year. I think it's going to be good enough to not make sure the defense, is exhausted all the time. So, again, watch out for the Jets. I'm not going to be shocked if this team ends up around 8 or 9 wins, and I wouldn't be shocked if they sneak into that 7 seed too. Personally, I think that 7 seed is going to come down to either the Patriots or the Jets. I think that last seed in the playoffs is going to be Patriots or Jets. I personally think it's going to be Patriots, but I'm not going to be shocked if the New York Jets make the playoffs this year. I have another team, but I will let you guys expound upon what I just said because apparently you guys do not like it whatsoever.
I mean,
the Jets, bro. Like, it's the Jets.
Yeah, it's the Jets. And to your point, week 17, if you're right, Matt, is going to be wild because you know who the Jets face in week 17 at MetLife? Got the Pats, and they end with the Bills. But, I mean, don't be wrong. I like a lot of the things the Jets did. But as long as Woody Johnson owns the Jets, I don't care how good of a culture guy you have as a head coach, they're going to be a cancer in the locker room. I mean, they realistically are, and I don't know. I don't think Woody Johnson's the kind of guy for a head coach to tell him to keep his fucking ass out of there. And if he's going to show up, he stands there and just doesn't, and his kids can't come down there and shit. Like, I don't think Woody Johnson's the kind of guy that's going to take kindly to that.
But I think a lot of the cancer issues, obviously a lot of the cancer issues stems from Woody, but especially last year, a lot of the cancer issues were Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. They came in there, they thought it was freaking Green Bay Packers 2.0 again, and they came in, they shit the bed, and then it just kind of led down to everybody else. So I think getting those guys out, getting someone like Justin Fields, if you don't perform, this is your last shot. Like, you ain't getting another shot, big dog. Like, I believe in Justin Fields. I've always believed in Justin Fields, but if he doesn't perform here, you ain't going to get another shot. So again, he's going to come in, he knows he's got to make, he knows he's got to perform, especially under these circumstances. And like I mentioned, his rushing ability, he's one of the greatest running quarterbacks I've ever seen, just speed wise. And then combined with the offensive line, combined with the running game they already have, combined with Garrett Wilson on the outside, they need a better number 2 receiver. Their number 2 receiver, I think, is still Allen Lazard. That's not great. But again, I think this team, again, I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think that over 5.5 is going to hit pretty easily.
Yeah. I see Matt's point. I understand Matt's point. Before you go, so sorry, Joe. The thing is that, like, there's so I want to believe so much in the Jets, and I actually think Justin Fields going to the Jets actually helps Justin Fields a lot. It's just something about like putting Justin Fields in that situation with that market, and even despite the fact that I like it, I don't know how much the New York media is going to, because we all saw what it did to Zach Wilson, right? It broke Zach Wilson to the point where now he might never become. Now, granted, Zach Wilson might not be good, but what I'm saying is that
Zach Wilson's good.
Wilson's not that good of a QB, but
it's broken so many quarterbacks, though.
Yeah, he's not the only one. I mean, Sam Darnold,
like all these people. And honestly, Matt, I hope you're right. You want to know why? Because I don't want the fucking Jets organization ruining Arch Manning. All right, like I hope you're right.
This has been Between the Uprights. Football is life. The rest is just details.